Oh, man. Season 3 is a go.
3, not 4.
We are greenlit. Welcome to Netflix. You are greenlit.
No, I wish it was
I wish.
simple.
I know.
If only.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nerd Cyph Season 3 premiere. As always, I am your host, the one and only Tone Bone. I'm being joined by the King of Bong Style, the smoker of bongs, the
Devourer of tacos.
Devourer of tacos, the hosts of multiple podcasts.
The human podcast machine.
That's what he calls himself. He is Brandon Gold.
Yo.
And joining us from an undisclosed location. No one knows where he is, but he is
I don't even know where I am.
hard at work. The one, the only, the ever incomparable Artie Pucco. How's it going, guys?
That's right, the world champion of your heart, folks.
That's right, world champion of everybody's hearts. Still to this day, 10 years later.
I gotta stretch out the muscles.
I know.
It's been a while since we did this.
So we are back.
The arsonist has oddly shaped feet.
In our absence, there has been quite a bit of trailers.
Well, I mean, it's Super Bowl weekend. They usually drop everything because that's when they have the largest captive audience.
This is where I would take the time to congratulate the winner of the Super Bowl, but I refuse to acknowledge who won.
No, don't.
So
don't even trash
I don't even remember them having a Super Bowl this year. There was a Super Bowl this year?
Trash bag humans from a trash bag city.
Exactly. Classy.
That's
Classy.
a bold statement there.
Shout out to the homie Dax. So Dax is a cool guy.
Anywho, back to where we were. And now we're back on the Nerd Cyph talking trailers. That's going to be what this episode's about.
Yes.
Since there were so many. And, I mean, could you get more excited for this year, upcoming year of movies, fellas?
I could, but it would be an uncomfortable level of excitement. You would be like, Brandon, calm down.
You especially, considering that the Han Solo trailer dropped during the Super Bowl.
Well, they gave you like a little snippet during the Han
and then the
Solo.
next day it came out,
The next
right?
day they dropped the bomb of all bombshells.
With your appetite.
We'll show some clips of that right now as we're breaking it down.
all
Since we got right into that, let's start with the Han Solo trailer.
Yes.
What did you guys? Since you guys are you and Artie are the big Star Wars
heads
of this show, what did you guys take away from it? Are you happy that they're doing a prequel? Are you happy that they're kind of touching on his early life?
I'm happy that they're doing it because I mean you have to do something with that license, so you might as well make all this content for the.
Did this reassure that they're going to make an Obi-Wan Solo?
It's checks it off because how many more like big time characters can you really do? And is every character going to get their own origin story? Probably not, but these are some ones that you probably should tell.
I mean, I believe Han Solo should get his own.
Because he's such a seminal character in the series. He has to get his own story.
What do you think, Artie?
I mean, everybody wanted to be Han Solo, and
they still to this
I
day.
guess to shed some light on where he's from and how he met all these people and all these backwater references that they make, especially how he came to come with Chewbacca and everything. I think people will like it.
What strikes me as kind of like a heist movie or like a kind of like a crime.
Kind of like Ocean's 11 or something like that.
Well, Ocean's 11, but not like as polishy, but like hey, we're gonna make up and settle up some scores and stuff like that. And
I also noticed that they're gonna show you his first love. Emilia Clarke may play the love interest there.
Yes.
So from what I gathered from the trailer,
yes.
I see Donald Glover's playing Lando Calrissian
flawlessly as ever. Like just
lucky.
That little snippet that they showed of him.
Do you think when they're in the canteen he's going to drink a Colt 45,
or he'll just have a nice, refreshing blue milk?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I just want to touch on that before we move any further. That scene in The Last Jedi where Luke milks the monster.
The look that he gives the creature afterwards, and then the look that he gives Rey too is like refreshing.
The look the creature gives Rey
like,
while he's being milked.
Yeah, it's like kill
What
me.
are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Kill me.
it was very uncomfortable.
It was one of the more uncomfortable.
I hope we don't see a scene like that in the Solo movie.
It was one of the more uncomfortable parts of that movie.
I do like the name of the movie, Solo.
Yes,
a Star Wars story.
Because it's Solo.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was very
Solo. It's a standalone.
Do you guys like the actor who's going to portray Han Solo?
Yes, because I liked his role in the Coen Brothers movie Hail Caesar, where
he was in that.
Yeah, he played an actor like that was specified in westerns, and they wanted him to do other like dramatic roles, and he couldn't do it.
Okay, I remember that guy.
And they were trying to like teach him how to do things.
Okay.
Would that it were so simple.
Yeah.
Would that it were.
That wasn't the one who fell in love with Scarlett Johansson in the movie, is it?
No, that was the guy
which was hilarious. When she
that
comes
was
out of the
doing.
water.
He was doing all like the rope tricks and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
With Ray
I remember
Fiennes.
now.
Would that were so simple?
Yeah, I remember.
Would that were so
Seems
simple?
smug enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does good. And also Woody Harrelson in a Star Wars movie.
Woody Harrelson is in this.
Which
too.
gave us one of my favorite
was-
memes of the week, where it was like they're showing the clip of it, and it's like putting together a score, kid. Are you in? It's like, yeah, as long as you don't get Munsoned out in the middle of nowhere. That made me laugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited for that. I'm
That's
I'm
gonna
not a
be a
Star
huge-
Wars guy, but I'm excited for that film.
That's going to be a huge movie month.
Considering that, I mean,
Is-
I saw The Last Jedi with you, and I walked out of there going,
Yeah, it's kind of did the same thing. It was just
and I was like,
"Meh."
and then so to me, like this is like, okay, like this is the kind of movie where I'm like, all right, I like this because it's about the characters that we grew up knowing,
Yeah.
and at least now it's more like a nostalgia act, but at least now you get to see his origin story and I understand how Han Solo was so cool.
How he became the baddest motherfucker in the
Yeah,
galaxy.
maybe we'll see how the Millennium Falcon makes that Kessel Run.
I mean,
Do you think we'll see that?
You do see the Falcon. You see like
Yeah.
the inside of the new Falcon, shiny and new,
Brand new.
chrome.
Might not be his.
Do you see that
How
where he
he
wins
wins
it
it.
from Lando?
I think you probably will. I think that's probably how the last scene of the movie, where like they're probably going to be flipping for playing sabacc for the
car.
Throws him
right?
keys.
Yeah, and then he's just like, all right, his hand roll in, and Lando bets the Falcon, and then Han just smirks, and then you know what happens next. Like he
You see
obviously
him
beats
who
him.
wins it, yeah.
Pull it around back and he never comes back. He pulls a Ferris
Goes
Bueller.
out for cigarettes and never comes back with it.
That'd be sick. He went out for smokes. Well, I don't know. He went out 6 years ago and he hasn't come back yet. We're still waiting.
Here's my thing though. You think it would lead into like a solo deuce?
Oh,
Are they gonna call it Deuce for Solo?
Deuce solo. Would there be a second one? Like,
Solo Deuce.
think it does that good?
Another Star Wars film.
oh.
Yet another.
I mean, it depends on how much of his life, of the life that they really cover. Because again, he was
Yeah,
like
that
in
they
his,
pass through.
he was in his 30s by the time he meets up with
Luke and Leia,
Luke
right?
and Leia and
Yeah.
Tatooine. So
Well, I mean, you're gonna get his probably his 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, his 20s run. But
late
you know, you
teens
could make a second film because he lives such a. I mean, he's a
it's such a
Yeah. It's,
what are those called?
it's a rich history to that character.
He's an outlaw or whatever, like
Yeah.
a pirate, right? And what is he called?
a smuggler.
Smuggler.
Space
That's what
pirate.
it is.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
he's essentially running drugs for Jabba the Hutt.
Essentially, yes. So I mean,
Yeah.
he could live a life in that 10 years before he met Luke and Leia. So I mean, you could essentially
that
get a
cargo.
trilogy out of that if you wanted.
I think
he dumped that cargo, even though when they boarded the freaking when the stormtroopers boarded it in the first movie, A New Hope, they can't detect anything. So why did he dump his cargo then? If the robots can't detect anything.
You never know.
Puss. He's getting soft in his old age.
Maybe they'll touch on that in this prequel.
Yeah, right. Or maybe they'll have Jabba in it.
That's a good. Like maybe he'll make the debt, or if it is a
I think
trilogy,
it will,
maybe
I think it's gonna literally lead up to him and him taking the Falcon from Lando. Like that's what they'll end it on. Like,
yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Like
I'll tell you what I can see them rolling out besides Obi-Wan, and that's probably going to be Boba Fett, because a lot of people don't know nothing about him. They can go a lot of different ways with the Mandalorians.
they could literally take a place like.
Am I wrong in saying that I would love to see an origin story for the Mandalorians, like a Star Wars
it's
story
possible.
about the Mandalorians?
It's possible. Speaking of in Star Wars news, Weiss and Benioff, the creators of Game of Thrones, were recently announced to be working on the next Star Wars trilogy.
So not this one
Not
currently.
this
Yeah,
one that's
it's-
coming out. The one that's going to take place after this one, which is supposed to have no connection to the Skywalker.
If I'm not mistaken, I was reading something about that. They said they might go Old
Backward.
Republic.
Oof.
Yeah, you've already won me over as soon as I heard that. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
going to be impressive.
that's huge.
Yeah. Speaking of solo films, we'll just touch briefly on this because I'm really iffy on it. I can go heads or tails with it. The Venom trailer dropped, with starring Tom Hardy.
There was a Venom trailer. I thought it was just some movie.
I just thought it was some weird Tom Hardy thriller. flick.
First of all, I was even suspect that the trailer was even legitimate because
Yeah.
they were literally just filming this. This movie just started filming like a month ago.
Exactly. I don't know.
It hasn't
CGI,
been
man.
it hasn't been in production for that long. Like
Yeah.
November, December is when I literally just said principal photography starts on Venom. I'm like, whoa.
I don't know. I mean, from what I've seen of it, like I said, it just seems like a weird thriller movie with starring Tom Hardy.
Yeah, as Venom. I don't know what they're gonna do with this. How they're gonna make this movie happen without Spider-Man? Because I thought that's really kind of central to the Venom
Yeah.
character.
From what I gathered from some certain sources, they said to me that This takes place when he goes to fight other symbiotes. He starts to fight other symbiotes and stuff. So Carnage obviously is going to be the main bad guy in this film.
Okay.
Yes. It's based on what comic book?
I don't know, but it takes place in San Francisco, obviously, because the opening scene shows the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
So he's not in New York, so that's how they were able to take Spider-Man out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they did say that
okay, I know which ones.
He's going to have a cameo, Tom Holland, but I assume it's probably just going to be while Eddie Brock is walking through the streets. He probably sees like a TV and you see Spider-Man saving the day or something.
It's just funny that like his first big thing is going to be him being a good guy in a sense. I mean,
yeah, I didn't understand. I think Venom should have been
because the two comic books, Lethal Predator and then Planet of the Symbiotes, which is what they're going to base it after, was him trying to wrangle up whatever symbiotes were there, like Carnage and
I mean, I don't know if they're going to have Agent Venom and all those other guys. I mean, I don't think so because Flash Thompson is still a teenager. Because Flash Thompson is Agent Venom.
Well,
that's weird.
Sony owns Flash Thompson. Mm-hmm. Sony's doing the movie, so
it's gonna be so weird. But I mean, I'll give it a chance. I've given all the X-Men's a chance, so I mean, I'll give this a chance.
What's the point at this point?
Yeah.
I know.
What more do you have to lose?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, might as well.
$25 at the movie theater.
Exactly. Give it the old college try.
2 hours.
How bad could it possibly be?
Well, you can't say that because we've seen some bad ones, guy. So let's not.
Green Lantern.
Exactly. The Green Lantern.
Speaking of, it's a good segue, Artie.
That is going to lead us into our first break because when we come back, we're going to talk about the star of Green Lantern in his new film and
former star.
Former star, you're right. And starring in the sequel to the very successful Deadpool film, which, I mean, the trailer alone for me won me over for the second one. I was like, okay, we're good. This is going to be just as funny as the first one.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're going to take a break, pay some bills. When we come back, we'll break down the Deadpool trailer.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a shit ton about Avengers Infinity War still, because another trailer released for that at the Super Bowl.
It is?
Yeah, and they didn't give too much away, but they showed a little bit more extra footage and stuff, so we'll break that down and talk about that when we come back.
You're being facetious.
This is John Harder wanting you to check out the Hardway Podcast, the flagship show of Hardway HQ, exclusively on thejohnharder.com. Comedy segments, guests, even a Stu Hart appearance or two, like his show does. Check out thejohnharder.com to listen to the Hardway Podcast.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Todd Smith here from the No Gimmicks Podcast. Tune in weekly as my tag team partner Dale Clifford and I provide you with recaps, predictions, unboxings, and interviews with some of the hottest names in professional wrestling today. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at the No Gimmicks PC, and like our Facebook page. You can visit us at www.youtube.com/the No Gimmicks Podcast. And remember, we are no gimmicks, no image, all wrestling, all the time.
And we're back.
Doot.
Season premiere.
Yeah.
Season 3 of the Nerd Cyph. Season 3. We didn't do 3 seasons of this.
Yeah.
Not very long seasons.
We did like 4 or 5 episodes last year.
I can promise you that season 3 is going to be much more consistent.
Yeah. Well, we're figuring it out.
Yeah, much more consistent.
It's a process.
But we got this. We got it.
That's a tone bone promise.
The first season was purely audio.
Yes, it was podcast.
The first season was a podcast.
You know, now season 3 is basically filming.
Half of season 2 was a podcast.
Yeah, it was our transition season, as we called it. This is now Nerd Cyph TV. It's what it is now.
We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
The tranny dudes.
Of course, we're being joined by Brendan Gold and Artie Bucco. I am Tone Bone. And jump right back into it. Deadpool, the trailer released.
Yeah, just Deadpool.
Got some sweet Deadpool action, which meant we got to see Cable, we got to see Domino, we got to see...
For like seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it was brief, it was quick, because they, you know, the one thing I will like about these Deadpool trailers is they're still funny. They still kind of hook you in a sense of, oh, wow, this is going to be real funny, but they don't give away everything away. Yeah, so it's like, you still got to come see it.
Which is what I like.
Yeah, I like that too.
Because I
Go ahead, Artie.
I honestly don't like to watch trailers.
Yeah, no, you said that. You're not really.
I'd rather go in there and be surprised. Like, all right, Venom movie. Okay, I know who Venom is. I know who Black Panther is. All these people,
Yeah.
Like, you see the cool parts, and you're like, I've seen that already. What's next?
It does take a little bit away from when you go to the theater and you had already seen it in the trailer, and you're like, oh, okay, so this is what this part is about, instead of going, oh, shit, what happened there? But like I said, to me, the Deadpool trailer was the fact that the whole, are you kidding me? It's a freaking metal arm. It's not like we're trying to remove a mustache. Like, it was just things like that. It was just like, okay.
That's what this is going to make this movie.
Yeah, and then I just like when he's like, forget it, I'll do it. And then you see the action figure part, and he's like, reach for the sky.
Sheriff Deadpool.
He's like, oh no, Sheriff Deadpool. He goes, I got the stones to handle this. And he gives him like a Hurricane Rana.
Don't bite it.
Oh my god. He goes, I thought you were taller in the comics. I got it playing right now. It's pretty funny. Like, they reach for the sky.
Dude, can you tell, like, how crazy is May going to be for movies? Like,
yes.
Like, just Avengers.
What do you think? Now, I did read that they're going to, the one scene where you see Deadpool come up from the back of the plane with the group standing behind him.
Yeah, that's X-Force.
That's X-Force.
Yeah.
That's X-Force.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That nobody really is touching on. I'm shocked.
Is that Bishop in the fucking trailer? Because
that's what I said. There's a black guy standing next to him. I don't know who the hell it is.
I didn't see
and that's what's raising everybody, all the questions. Who people who did notice that it's going to be X-Force. They're like, which group is it? Which X-Force are they going with? Because clearly they're not going with my favorite version, which was where Wolverine was the leader of the team.
No, obviously.
Obviously, they're not doing that. The Messiah Complex, where Cable takes Hope Summers through time and Bishop chases her. That's my favorite X-Force series. I assume they're going to do the early 94 ones,
yes.
like the early 90s ones.
When it was just
Cable and Deadpool.
Yeah.
And, a bunch of other, like Domino was in that one, I think. Mm-hmm. Domino was in the new one, too, but I think she was in that one, too. But, I mean, I'm excited to see. I thought the first one was awesome. It pretty much encompassed what Deadpool was, the comics in it itself. So if you loved Deadpool, there was no reason why you didn't like the film.
People love Deadpool, so.
Yeah, I think Deadpool is one of the most, I don't want to say overrated, but I'll say overhyped character.
It's definitely been a character that was kind of popular at one little point in time, and then very recently exploded to this
when he came out in '93, nobody knew who he was.
Yeah, exactly. But comic book people knew who he was.
Yeah,
comic book people liked who he was until it wasn't until you started to see more media interpreting the character that it became, or even other artists doing more Deadpool specific books that he blew up.
Because to me, I didn't really start to like Deadpool until I forgot which book it was, and I started to, he was telling his jokes, and he was breaking the fourth wall. I'm like, wow, this Deadpool's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I think it was an X-Force comic, actually, because I think it was one of the X-Forces where Cable was on the front cover, and he was in it. Or it might have been Cable and Deadpool.
Yes.
That comic, it was a very brief run with that, and I read that, I was like, wow, Deadpool's really funny. And then I started to look back on all the books, and I was like, okay, this is his character. This is what he does. He's just a comedic relief. He's essentially what Booster Gold is to the DC universe.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So
a more clean version of Booster Gold, or less clean version of Booster
Gold. Much more adult, much more rated R version of Yeah, you're right. Because a lot of sexual overtones in Deadpool comics. And
especially in the movie. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You betcha.
But I'm okay with Cable.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people don't like him because he's short, but I'm okay with Josh Brolin as Cable. He looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, Josh Brolin looks like Cable. He looks exactly what... If you show those facial shots of it close up, they nailed.
I mean, I understand Josh Brolin isn't exactly 6'7", whatever.
No,
but, I mean,
but there are very few people that are 6'7".
I think people need to kind of, but I also think that people need to come off their high horse and understand
he's got to be 6'7" and all
that
this other stuff.
In comic books, the way they were drawn was because they were supposed to be drawn larger than life, and when you think larger than life, you think giant, muscular dudes. It's just the way you think. Now, unfortunately, there's only a few people that are built like that, and the ones that are probably can't act to save their goddamn life. So if you want the film to be decent, you need a good actor, and you're going to have to sacrifice some things, which means you're going to have to sacrifice a giant beefcake.
Even if you want it to be marginally successful, you need the character.
Yeah. I mean, listen, when they were writing Deadpool, they didn't say that he looked like Ryan Reynolds until the mid-2000s.
Yeah.
When he did Van Wilder, and he started getting a little popular, he started developing a following in the acting, in the film.
His own fourth wall.
Yeah. That's when all of a sudden they said he looks like Ryan Reynolds. That's
because they probably wanted Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. So
they got him.
It worked out for him, but Cable is a very particular character, and it's very hard to cast a character like that because he's got a metal arm, his eyes. It's very different than when you cast
a lot of CGI in that.
Yes, Yeah, that's
Well,
why
also-
I don't want to go backwards, but that's why we're still curious to see Venom because they haven't shown Venom, and I want to see what he's going to look like. Venom himself, not.
Listen, it's just like any comic book artist. You know, all the drawings are interpretations.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen buff Hulks and skinnier Hulks who are
Jacked
buff,
up
stuff like
Superman.
that.
That's how I feel now. I feel like when you watch these these films, it's basically another take on the universe. So I think essentially like when they do the multiverse stories in comic books and they show all the different worlds, they say just picture this as a different world from that universe, and that's it. It's just their interpretation of it. So I mean, it's like Doctor Strange, you know, which I think
I don't know about that. They hit him on the nose.
I think. But I think like when he was talking about the multiverse, I think that they're really going to start diving into that now. The multiverse
Going into DC here.
and different things of like just in general, like now that Disney owns the Fox library.
Hasn't been finalized yet. But
Okay,
a deal has been agreed upon in principle. Hasn't been finalized. There
Okay.
may even still be somebody that try and
swoop in.
and take it. Comcast may kind of swoop in. And,
But anyway, if that doesn't happen, and Disney does somehow manage to pull this deal apart,
Yes.
I really think that they're going to use the Infinity Stones or Doctor Strange somehow to then tie in the universes through like the multiverse. Like, oh man, this is all coming together now.
Yeah.
And then now that's how the X-Men will get brought in, and that's how you'll get like Deadpool in, and you'll get the Fantastic Four back and all this shit. But I believe that's the only way you could do it. And
No, the only reason that you feel that it needs to be that way is because for however long now, since the movies have been coming out, it's been Fox owns this, Sony owns that, Disney owns this. But in the comics, it's like everyone knows everyone. There was no boundary, really.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. And I'll tell you this. I mean, I really hope Fox. I hope that doesn't fall through now that you said that.
I don't think it's going to fall through.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that
No.
could cause it to fall through is if like the government steps in and say it's antitrust violations, or if someone like Comcast or somebody like that comes in and swoops in the last minute.
I see what you mean there. But what do you guys think?
Monopoly.
You ready to see it though?
I'm definitely ready to go see what's happening.
I mean, May, like you said, May is going to be a very
is-
busy month movie wise.
Docked. We're gonna have all movie episodes in May, essentially.
Yeah,
all movie reviews.
crazy movie reviews. Yeah.
It's gonna
When the Han Solo comes out December?
no, Han Solo comes out May 15th.
That's another May movie.
That's another May movie.
Holy
summer.
shit!
Yeah, man.
God
This
damn!
summer.
Yeah, man.
Because Deadpool comes out in May.
Deadpool and Han Solo, I think, are the same week. If I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
No, I think Deadpool is
I think it's the week before. I think it's early May.
no, because that first week of May is Avengers. Nothing's gonna come
May
out.
I think it's the week after.
Yeah,
Or it's like one after another. It's like
yeah.
Avengers,
14th is Han Solo. 18th is
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
May 6th is
so
Avengers.
it's,
May 7th or whatever is the
Yeah.
Avengers. So that's like 1 week after another.
Yeah,
Pretty much. God damn, that's gonna be awesome.
we're gonna be practically living in a movie theater.
Ant-Man and Wasp. Can't forget about that.
Yes.
That trailer did come out too, and you know what? That's a perfect segue, Ari.
Bam.
You're just taking
God
us
damn it.
from Deadpool
Take us
to Ant-Man and the Wasp.
right the ship.
10 minutes on the camera.
We got plenty of time. We got 8 more minutes, so that's a
That
perfect
ship.
time
We could talk about Ant-Man and Wasp in 10
to
minutes.
talk about Ant-Man and Wasp. Yes. I was impressed.
Yeah. You know what I liked, and I didn't notice it until I saw a picture, like a meme of it. The front of their
the suits, yeah.
costumes
looks
are
like a wasp and
recognized
an
as
ant.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize that.
that's
So
pretty. That was pretty. You know, it took me
Took me a couple times to realize it.
It took me years to realize that his mask resembles the one in the comics, especially when he opens it up.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it has the thing hanging just like in the comic books.
Yep.
Like that breather thing in front of him.
The rebreather, yeah.
I didn't realize until recently until somebody did that. They did a side by side picture of them, and they said like it is comparable.
I know that like right away.
Yeah, so I didn't.
Then again, I don't know how big you were in the Ant-Man.
I was not big into Ant Man.
How big was anybody really?
In Ant Man, yeah, I just
I liked Hank Pym.
like when it comes to those films like Guardians and Ant Man, I always go in there with an open mind,
Oh, I
like because
definitely-
I didn't read the book, so I'm like I don't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I'm just going in there thinking, well, this guy Paul Rudd is a good actor. He's funny.
How can you not like Paul Rudd?
Yeah, so
In
that's
anything
how
that
I
he
went
does?
in there. But I mean, the costumes were awesome. You know what? I don't want to jump around too much, but we'll briefly talk about Captain Marvel, the pictures that have surfaced of her.
Yes.
Brie Olsen.
Yes.
Brie Larson.
Yes.
Yeah, Larson in the Captain Marvel costume. But
Is that
1,000 times yes, Tony.
was
Yeah.
that the ones where she was like wearing the green suit and people were upset?
it's the Kree uniform.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a second. Let's just finish up Ant-Man. What do you think you guys can expect from the new Ant-Man? Because Ghost is the villain.
Oh shit!
I mean, I'm expecting this more of the same that I saw in the first movie.
And Goliath is in it. Lawrence Fishburne plays Goliath.
I expect Evangeline Lilly to shine because I think
she really is.
She does very well at these kind of action roles.
From what I was reading, too, she was supposed to be in Civil War.
Really, they just didn't.
Yeah, but they just didn't want to go crazy with all the
too many
people. Yeah,
too many heroes.
Good lord.
yeah, she was supposed to be in Civil War. I can already tell that the movie's going to pick up right where Civil War left off, in the sense of they break.
Wasp is going to be the one breaking him out.
Yeah, she's going to break him out of the prison that he's in, and then because when in the one scene of the trailer when you see Hank shrink the building,
Yeah,
that's their hideout.
Yeah.
That building plays a huge part in the movie. They say that's
it's like
that.
Pym Industries or something like that.
I don't know what it is, but it's their hideout where he builds everything and
Yeah.
shit like that. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. And I do like the one scene where he comes out of the water as Giant Man and he grabs the boat or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's good.
I think it's gonna be more action.
Yeah, I think
not
so
as
too.
much espionage.
Yeah, I think so. I think now that the characters are established, you know who's who. You know,
Yeah.
she's gonna get her Wasp suit. And I do like the one. I don't know if anybody else picked this up, but the Wasp sound just like the cartoons.
Yes.
Really?
When she shoots them out of her thing, yeah, I can't. I hate to sound like a Marvel fanboy, but man, do they knock it out of the park every single time. And even like I said,
they
now
know
is a
what they're
perfect
doing.
transition. It goes right into Brie Larson as Captain Marvel because that costume,
Looks like the Kree battle suit. Yeah.
it looks spectacular.
Jesus.
It looks awesome.
I think that's the next phase of Marvel. Is there?
Well, they did say that this 10 years, this is
It's
the
gotta go cosmic.
this cast is done. You're not gonna get the same cast from this point on. So like I think Chris Hemsworth's done. I think Chris Evans is gonna be done. Downey Jr. might be done. I don't know, but a lot of these guys are gonna be done, and the only way to replenish. It's like a wrestling roster, man.
Yeah,
Like when
just
your top guys leave, you got to replenish with the young guys,
gotta
and that's
find
what's
the new
basically happening. That's why Black Panther is coming out. That's why Ant-Man and the Wasp. Because it's going to be the new Avengers. Avengers 4 is going to be called the new Avengers. I can already tell.
Yeah, it'll be.
It'll be Captain Marvel,
And I'm
Ant-Man,
okay
and the
with that,
Wasp.
but I'll tell you what, if they wanted to do
14.
Sam Wilson Cap, I'd be okay with that.
Either that, or I would be okay with Bucky.
Yeah.
Although that's a different Earth.
Yeah, I'd
but
be okay with Bucky as Cap. Like I don't have a problem with Bucky, especially the scenes that I saw of him. He's got that long flowing locks, which is awesome. But
Love those locks.
I
Feathered and
lethal.
lethal.
But I'm sure he's going to cut it because in the comics he cuts it when he becomes Captain America.
He also wears that silvery suit, so
Yeah, that weird one. But I like that costume though, the triangle and everything. That's gonna be pretty sick. But we'll get there in a second. We'll get there when we get there, because I already think that in Avengers, which we'll talk about in our last segment, there's going to be some heartbreaking stuff, and it's going to really upset people.
For real.
But guys, I mean,
hi.
May is going to be a bit busy month.
Dude, it's going to be the month of movies.
Yeah, and when does Captain Marvel come out? Does it come this year or next year? I think next year.
2019.
That's the next year.
Yeah, next year. Okay. So
Because there's only like after, because Avengers is first, then Ant-Man and Wasp, then it's Captain Marvel, and then I think one other movie, and then the Avengers 4. There's not that big of a gap between Marvel movies and Avengers 4. Like Avengers,
If they're smart, they won't have a big gap.
No.
I'm
They'll
hoping
just
by then they'll have this
go
thing
right into
finalized
it.
and they can say, all right, well, our next phase is X-Men
it's X-Men, yeah.
or something like that. Yeah, I'm really hoping for
Or the
for
X-Men
that.
have been in space this entire time, and they come back. That's how they do it.
You know what? I'd buy that. I'd
They're
be okay
like
with
they're just floating in limbo right now.
that. Yeah, I would be so okay. I would be okay.
Speaking of limbo,
Fantastic Four show up. How great would that be? You know,
Never.
let's just get. I can't wait to get there.
I think Fantastic
It's a
Four.
beautiful thing. The reason I'm not bummed about the 10 years of Marvel and knowing that these guys aren't going to come back is
you know
knowing
it's
that
coming.
they might finalize a deal here where you're going to get the X-Men, and so you'll always have fresh new
Avengers
movies and
versus
stuff. Yeah, and then eventually you can always
Avengers
reboot
versus
these
X-Men.
films like that, bring back Iron Man and Captain America. And all this.
fucking don't reboot nothing.
You know, I don't know. Or like I said, I would rather just pass the reins off, give it to Sam Wilson or give it to Bucky if you're going to continue the mantle of Captain America instead of just rebooting it and bringing in another Steve
Cap.
Rogers. Unless you bring in Chris Evans back and they went through time and brought Captain America back. The way they did it with Logan, Old Man Logan, where Wolverine died and they went through time and got Old Man Logan and brought him to the universe, and then he became the Wolverine, and then all of a sudden now Wolverine's alive, so now there's like 3 Wolverines living in the same universe. It's like weird. Don't get that intricate.
No.
But
They could pull a Dumbledore and just not even acknowledge that he's a different Cap.
Yeah, just
that's who, like they did with
somebody
Mark Ruffalo.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, and Don Cheadle, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you've been my best friend this whole time. There was no Terrence Howard. What are you talking
What's
about?
up? You've always been this colorblind.
Oh my God. Speaking of which, we're gonna take another break. We're gonna take our last break, and then we come back. We're gonna break down the Avengers Infinity War trailer. It wasn't that long, so we'll break it down shortly, and then we're gonna get to our new segment, which is
Internet outrage of the week.
Internet Outrage of the Week. TM by Brandon Gold. So we're gonna take a break.
Hey everyone, what's going on? This is Mike Greco, the voice of the voices. If you like what you're hearing, then come on and check out the most exciting jam-packed loaded wrestling podcast today, Spot Monkey Radio. We talk all things wrestling from WWE to New Japan, Indies, ROH, and even travel to local shows in our area. So make sure to check out Spot Monkey Radio only on the False Finish Productions Network, the worldwide leader in podcast entertainment. Oh yeah!
What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the King of Bronx Style, Brandon Gold, and if you liked the Nerd Cyph, you should check out 3 Boys, a Goat, and a Dancing Bear, a podcast of ice and fire, where I discuss all things in the realm of Game of Thrones. Be sure to check out our archive on SoundCloud, and be sure to subscribe and give us 5 stars on the False Finish Productions Podcast Network, the revolutionary force in podcast entertainment.
And we're back. I had to fix some stuff and
Delete stuff off cards.
we're good.
Delete all.
The first thing I saw was Kenny's smiling face, and I knew that I had to delete it.
Podcasts that will never see the light of day.
But you know what? That's how you get better. You gotta make mistakes.
Exactly. Well, I think we put that on Facebook for a little while, didn't
It was Facebook Live. It was a Facebook Live that I was trying to record at the same time.
And they couldn't really hear us anyway. We were recording from mics and we didn't have
We were using your webcam mic at the time.
Yeah.
So now that that's out of the way, now that everybody knows the inner workings,
Yeah, of how we do here.
we're going to talk about Avengers trailer real quick, because we, like you said before, we talking about it 5 different times.
Yes.
So let's just break it down. There was very few parts. The only thing I took from it was the little smirk at Thanos at the end of it when he just looks back.
There was really nothing new.
There was nothing new, nothing from the trailer breakdown that we did a couple.
Other than the slow-mo shot of Tony Stark walking, which I think could be maybe from his possible potential death scene, or...
No, the one thing I took from that, since I'm glad you brought that up, was that now he's using the bleeding edge armor, which now pretty much melts onto his skin like it does in the comics, which is fucking awesome.
Ooh,
yes.
Gonna look cool.
Now, according
Just to be in his last movie.
yeah, now it could be his last movie. It might not be. Like, I think personally they're gonna kill Cap and they're gonna kill Thor. They're gonna kill them 2 off. And Stark is gonna be around, but he might not be around as much.
He'll be the senior figure.
Yeah, like maybe I honestly believe that punch that Thanos gives him, like, paralyzes him. Like he can't be Iron Man anymore, and maybe that's how he passes the mantle off, or something like that, and that's how you could bring in your Iron Heart or whatever, which I'd be fine with.
Yes.
If they did it that way, but I believe Captain America and Thor are gonna die.
I think Cap's definitely going to die.
Need to put up a poll here.
Who do you think is going to die?
Who do you think is going to die?
That's a great idea.
That is a great idea. You know what, Artie?
We're going to do that.
We're gonna do that.
I'm the idea guy.
Yeah, the idea, man. The idea, man. Vote right now in the comments below. Who do you think is gonna die in the Avengers?
Whom?
Infinity War.
Whom do you think is going
Whom is going to go? Brandon thinks it's...
We'll send you a false finish pen if you're
yes.
right.
This. I'll send you this.
Right
pen.
guess gets a false finish pen, one of these. It's also a stylist for your iPad. So. Who do you think's going to die? Cap?
Cap, definitely.
Artie, who do you think?
Black Panther.
Black Panther. That's a bold statement, Artie.
Bold prediction, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
Oh, Black Panther.
No, I think only Cap. I don't see Thor. I just see Thor being like whisked away to fucking back to
Asgard or whatever.
Asgard.
Doesn't exist anymore, though. Asgard's been destroyed. They make Neo Asgard.
Remember what he said, though?
exist.
Asgard is the people, not the
That's
land.
very, but all the people are dead, too. Like, you have to assume...
It doesn't exist, but let's say when they win,
They can,
or if they win,
they can
sorry,
just reality
I'm
gem.
spoiling.
They can just reality gem it.
Back
They
to-
reality gem everything back to normal.
That's true. Or
And
if
as
Franklin
far as-
Richards was in the universe, he could just create one for them.
Yep, deep dude.
But I'm excited for Avengers. I mean, I really, like I said before, I think it's going to set the bar very high in the month of May for the rest of the films that proceed after it.
It's gonna set the bar higher for Justice League too, because like
that I don't even want to get into DC only because they are so like confusing right now.
I think this is going to be the death blow for DC.
I think so too.
Because they're just going to be like, fuck, there's no way we
Well,
can compete
look at all
with
these
this.
movies that Marvel is pumping out, pumping out, and pumping out. It's like, okay, we just got Justice League. What's next?
Yeah, Aquaman.
I haven't heard hype of anything, and and who really wants to go see Aquaman? I mean, yeah, the guy I guess is attractive if you're
A woman or homosexual.
or
Yeah.
There's anything wrong with that.
no,
But
like
I see your point.
I mean, yeah, Aquaman's
Aquaman is not a
it's
cool enough
unique
hero to get a bunch of people to mount up in the line and say, I can't wait to see
I just
Aquaman.
think DC is just so far back in the Silver Age still.
Yeah.
With the way that their characters progressed and everything,
Mm-hmm.
whereas Marvel took real life people and just said, "Hey, what if this guy gets powers? What if this teenager gets powers? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Whereas Batman, Superman, they're all adults.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have any like young, youthful. I mean,
They don't
except
have
for
any
Flash,
people that you
but-
can relate to. I'm not a billionaire.
Yeah,
I may be a playboy and philanthropist,
that's very true.
so I can kind of relate to Tony Stark.
That's I guess that's kind of.
I like freedom, so I can relate to
Captain
Cap.
America, yeah.
And I actually do only have one arm now, so I can relate to the Winter Soldier.
But you don't have a vibranium arm though.
You do not have
No,
a
but
vibranium
I am
arm.
brainwashed, so
Oh,
That is true.
17
But guys, I mean,
learning.
this is going to be
Steam pipe.
this is I think the most exciting time for superhero films right now. I think it's all because it's all
culmination.
Yeah, it's all culminating now for 10 years. So it's a good time, and I can't wait to go on the con circuit finally and see all the great stuff and
All of our friends.
all the new. I'm sure there's going to be a much more new stuff that's going to be
Did you
announced.
say nudes? The nudes are back.
The nudes are back.
Check out the nudes, dude.
And
Fucking nudes.
Nudes.
I don't want to say too much because I don't want to freak out. And speaking of freaking out, I am going to defer to my main man Brandon
Yes.
as he brings you a brand new segment on the Nerd Cyph TV.
Well, all right. Thank you, Tony, for that. This is my ENN moment.
It is
Thank
your
you-
ENN.
Thank you,
The-
Tony.
The floor is yours, my man.
Thank you, Artie. It seems like every week in our current outrage culture that there's some new thing that pisses the masses off. This week, it was the new Snapchat update because Snapchat, being a wide thing, have to keep their platform updated.
Got to evolve.
They got to evolve. Changed how changed the layout, and people lost their collective fucking minds. I went back. I downloaded the update, expecting this whole new thing. You know how long it took me to figure it out?
I know.
How they did it?
Because it took me about the same amount of time.
About 3.5 seconds to show you realize that things that were on the one side of the page are now on the other side of the page. Like, people are like, I'm deleting Snapchat, I'm done. Because they moved your stories from one section to the other. Get the fuck out of here. How fucking dumb are you?
If I may play devil's advocate.
I don't know if you can play.
Some people just don't like change.
Some people are just fucking dumb.
Some
and they
people
can't
just
figure shit out. I'm looking right at you. Yes, I know who you are. You deleted Snapchat because they took your friend's stories and they were on one side of it. Now you have to hit the other side.
Instead of swiping right, you have to swipe left.
Oh my fucking god, it's so fucking complicated.
They got to pay the bills, man.
How lazy is that? I have to swipe left
God,
now.
I'm never going to use this. I mean, granted, Snapchat was dying anyway because Instagram took everything that they did and made it 10 times better.
The only thing I like about Snapchat is the
Bitmojis.
Yeah, that's it. Because I kind of made myself look just like me in cartoon form.
Swipe left.
It's a dumb reason to like an app, but whatever.
Swipe left.
I like it.
It's your prerogative.
I never use Snapchat.
I don't either.
So to me,
Just for stalking.
I don't even use it for that. I use Instagram for that. I don't even use it for that.
No, because you could actually stalk the person. Anyway.
Yeah, no, we're not going to get into the
Let's not get on that.
The dentist system is another episode, my man. All right? We'll get into that later. But that was is that your rant? Are you continuing?
I guess that's it, man. I guess like people are dumb.
That is going to be a weekly segment. By the way,
I'm going to find something, some internet
outrage of the week, as you called it.
You'll have plenty of source material.
Trust me.
Yeah, the internet is rich with it, so you'll be fine.
That's just this week.
Yeah. So all you people out there that are bitching and moaning about your Snapchat being updated and changing,
it's not that big of a fucking deal. Deal with it.
Tell your story walking. Get over it.
I'm more pissed that I can't see people's Instagram posts in the order in which they post them. I'm seeing people's Instagram posts from 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
You hear that, Instagram?
You're bullshit.
It's your
You're
turn.
next.
It's your turn.
Instagram, you're next. Fuck out of here.
We're coming for you.
Get here with your fucking algorithm bullshit.
I think that's a perfect way to wrap this episode up. Right there with that exact line. thank you for joining us. This is a great season premiere episode where we talked a lot of movies, and like I said, we're just going to break down more movies, more great nerd stuff for you. We're actually going to try to get this show on the road. Now, I don't want to make no promises, but stay tuned. This will be a weekly show again. Thank you for joining me. For Brandon.
Can you hear my mic? Because I unplugged myself.
We hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
For Brandon. For Artie Boog. Artie, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us. I am Tony.
Bye.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Yeah, like, follow, subscribe. Next Saturday, we're going to be doing a 24-hour game stream from Twitch. Yeah, I really hope that people come check us out and hang out with us. You don't have to hang out with us for 24 hours, although that would be awesome.
But at some point in time during your Saturday,
in, chime in on Twitch. We'll be sharing it daily throughout our Facebook, throughout all our social media platforms. You can, speaking of social media platforms, you can find me at Tonebone Forever. You can find my man at apparently nothing, and you can find Artie at RT, the letters R and T, Buko.
Like right, Buko.
Again, I'm gonna say it one more time. For Brandon, for Artie, bye. I am Tonebone.
Bye bye.
Stay baked, folks.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye bye.